What's up, gamers? Old School Fool back in here. We have a special guest. Once we promised, and we delivered. I am standing here with the one, the only Tommy Tollarico. Right? Wait.
Oh, that's me. Hey, how you doing?
What's going on? Nice, nice. And if you guys aren't familiar with Tommy Tollarico, he is a very talented musician, coordinator, producer, pretty much everything got to do with the video game music business. Is that correct?
If it makes a sound, then I probably did something to it. No.
I mean, we're standing here with somebody who has been in the video. Let me ask you, how long have you been in the video game music making business?
19 years now. 19 years, yeah.
You look like you're about 25.
Exactly. I got in when I was 6, and no, I've been 19 years. I'm 41 years old, so I got in when I was 21 years old.
Nice, nice. You definitely look a great 41-year-old.
It's an Italian blood. It's the Italian genealogy. You know what I'm talking about, right? Paisan.
I'm Italian and Native American.
Paisan.
That's a motto for you.
Bafangol. Anyway.
We are here standing with him, and we want to know exactly, because you're here for Video Games Live, is that correct?
I am, yeah. We're putting on a big show. We're part of E3 this year, and putting on a big Video Games Live production. It's our LA show, playing at the Greek Theater. And it's going to be a great show because we're here with E3. We have a ton of really special guests from Japan and all over the world who are coming in. We're doing a couple world premieres here, and yeah, it's going to be amazing.
Now, for people who aren't familiar with Video Games Live, because there's a few people out there who don't know, what exactly is Video Games Live?
Video Games Live is all the greatest video game music of all time, played by a full symphony and choir. But what makes it really special and unique is that everything is completely synchronized to massive video screens, rock and roll lighting, stage show production, special effects, interactive elements with the crowd. So I kind of like to explain it as having all the power and emotion of a symphony orchestra combined with the energy and excitement of a rock concert, mixed together with all the cutting-edge visuals, technology, interactivity, and fun that video games provide.
Now, one would say, okay, well, this is just a gamer-oriented event. If I don't play games, would I not be interested in it? I mean, what's your view on that?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. In fact, we created the show. The reason I created the show was I wanted to prove to the world how culturally significant and artistic video games have become. So we had the non-gamer in mind when we created the show, and in fact, most of the audience, 40% of the audience, have never even played a video game, you know. So they're the ones who are kind of most surprised and amazed by the quality of music, by the character design and the graphics and everything. Gamers know how cool the music to Halo and Final Fantasy is.
Yeah, I mean, really nowadays, I mean, music is a big part of gaming. I mean, if I don't like what's coming out of my speakers, I'm not gonna be as enthused to play it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you know, it's 1/3 of the game. You have your design and your programming, you have your arts and your visuals, and you have your audio and the music. So it is such an important part, and music really drives the action. It's very different from film scores, which are background music, you know, because there's a lot of dialogue and storytelling going on there. But with video games, we get the action scene every time. So our music's always, I call it foreground music.
In regards to yourself as a musician, what really got you interested in making video game music?
Well, my two greatest loves growing up were always video games and music. But I never thought that I'd put the two together, because when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, there was no such thing as a video game composer, you know. So when I was 21, I moved out to California and, you know, got a job selling keyboards at Guitar Center. I was homeless. I was sleeping on the beach. I had no money, no place to stay, no job, no friends, nothing. And the first person who walked in the store on the second day I was in California happened to work at a video game company at Virgin, and I was wearing a TurboGrafx 16 shirt because it had just come out, and he hired me right there on the spot. So I was in California 3 days, and I was in the video game industry. So yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
What instruments do you compose on? Do you use keyboard, guitar? What do you play? You play everything?
I've been playing piano since I was 3, so mostly when I compose for whether it's symphony or whatever, you know, everything's on a computer these days, so I can have a whole symphony at my fingertips, you know, and so, yeah, everything's pretty much composed on the piano and done out on the piano, and then from there, I'll take that and hand that score over to arrangers and orchestrators and copyists who actually know what they're doing, and they'll then we go and record it with a big live orchestra. Or sometimes, but I also play guitar as well. So sometimes it depends on the song. I mean, if orchestral, it's on keyboard. If it's a rock thing, I'll probably be writing on guitar.
I've noticed a lot of other smaller bands are starting to like pop up here. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of the Mega Drivers, or also like these chiptune guys.
In fact, the Mega Drivers out of Brazil, one of the guys, they actually opened for us one time. I actually love that. In fact, during our show, you know, if there's like a local video game cover band or something like that, we put them in the show, you know, because we love to promote that stuff, because I think it's great for the industry. I mean, look how far it's become. You know, people always compare the video game industry to the film industry, and it's like, okay, where's all the film industry cover bands? Where's like the dudes, you know, covering Star Wars and Raiders of the Lost Ark? They don't exist, right? Video game, you go on ocremix.org, for example, and there's literally thousands of people from all over the world doing video game remix stuff in all sorts of different styles. I mean, that says a lot about video game music and the whole industry.
I mean, it really does, because when we've even used some tracks from OC Remix, we've also done stuff with 8-Bit Peoples. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Very good, yeah.
I mean, their chiptune stuff, I mean, I've heard some of the stuff is like, it could be played on a regular club dance floor.
It is. I mean, and it's all great stuff. I mean, you know, back then when I first got in the industry, a lot of the, you know, the chiptune music, we had to rely on melody, and that was it, because we didn't have fancy orchestras and live instruments and live guitars. We had, like, you know, 4 monophonic voices and about 45 seconds, and and so everything back then, some of the greatest video game music ever written was Mario and Zelda and Tetris and Castlevania and Metroid, was all from that era where we were very limited with the technology. Therefore, you really had to be creative and melodic, and you know, a lot of those guys did just that, and it's some of the best music out there still.
Well, there you have it. I mean, it goes to show you that video games have come such a long way. The music is such an important part, and of course, Tommy here is here as an important part to pretty much spread the word about how great video game music is, and will continue to be.
That's I mean, that's our big message with Video Games Live, and that's why we created the show for everyone. You know, whether you ever played a video game or you're a hardcore gamer, the show is released for everybody.
Now, just on a side note, I know you're really busy with the show. Are you still producing any music for any current games at all?
Yeah, in fact, I got a call at the end of last year from Sega Japan, and they wanted me to do a couple songs for the new Sonic the Hedgehog game that came out, Sonic and the Black Knight. So, I mean, when Sega Japan calls, you know, that's a gig.
Yeah, you listen.
Yeah, it was like, you know, I was going to take the week off of Christmas, and then I got that call, like, nah, you know, so it was a great honor for me to work on a Sonic franchise.
I mean, right now, the Sonic music is just going through my head, as you mentioned.
Hum it together.
All right. Where's Simon? Simon's gonna kick us right off. We don't do vocals. I don't do vocals. I'm just a dancing guy.
There you go. We'll do a dance remix.
Wow. See, he's already composing right here. It's great. All right, Tommy. So it sounds good. We're gonna sneak a camera in there, get a great look at behind the scenes of Video Games Live. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.